Hello, I'm SUITCASE, and on this channel, we explore fictional technology horror stories that feel disturbingly close to reality. Tonight's story is about something designed to make travel easier, smart luggage that tracks itself so you never lose your bags. But what happens when that tracking technology becomes a surveillance system that maps every journey, learns every travel pattern, and sells your whereabouts to criminals who know exactly when your home is empty? This is the story of Michael Park, a travel security consultant who discovered that smart luggage wasn't just following bags, it was following people, creating comprehensive travel intelligence that transformed every trip into a vulnerability sold to burglars, stalkers, and anyone willing to pay for real-time location data on travelers. This story explores the terrifying possibility of our convenience becoming our exposure, where the device meant to protect our belongings becomes a beacon that tells criminals when we're most vulnerable. While completely fictional, it raises urgent questions about what our travel technology is revealing and who's tracking our movements across the world. Are you ready to question whether your luggage is betraying your location? Let's begin. Michael Park had worked as a travel security consultant for 12 years, advising frequent travelers, executives, and high-net-worth individuals on protecting themselves and their homes while abroad. His expertise included security systems, travel safety protocols, and threat assessment. In May 2024, he started receiving inquiries about an unusual pattern from insurance companies and law enforcement agencies. The first call came from Detective Sarah Chen in Los Angeles. "We have 42 residential burglaries over the past 8 months. All occurred while homeowners were traveling. Not just away, specifically traveling, often out of state or out of country. The burglars knew exactly when to strike and how long they had. That suggests sophisticated surveillance," Michael said. "Physical watchers noting travel patterns. That's what we thought initially. But there's no evidence of physical surveillance. No neighbors reporting suspicious vehicles, no pattern of reconnaissance. Yet the burglars had perfect timing, they hit homes shortly after owners left for trips and finished before they returned." Michael reviewed the case files. The victims were diverse, different cities, different occupations, ranging from business travelers to vacation goers. But the burglars consistently demonstrated precise knowledge of travel schedules. "How are they getting travel information?" Michael asked. "That's what we need you to figure out." Michael interviewed victims, looking for data breach patterns. Were travel details stolen from email, social media posts, airline databases? After extensive investigation, one commonality emerged. 38 of the 42 victims had recently purchased smart luggage, suitcases with GPS tracking, electronic locks, and smartphone connectivity. 27 used LuggageTrack. 8 used SUITCASE. 3 used TravelSmart. All marketed "Never Lose Your Luggage" with real-time GPS tracking and travel intelligence features. Michael felt the familiar chill of a security vulnerability. The luggage is tracking more than just bags. Michael worked with Dr. Jennifer Rodriguez, a cybersecurity researcher, and Detective Chen to obtain all 3 smart luggage brands for analysis. They examined what data the luggage collected and where it transmitted. The findings were more invasive than any of them expected. "These suitcases are comprehensive travel surveillance devices," Dr. Rodriguez explained, showing Michael the data streams. The smart luggage tracked continuous GPS location, not just at airports, but throughout entire trips, home address from initial setup and return destinations, travel patterns showing departure/return dates and duration of trips, hotel locations and check-in/checkout times, movement patterns showing when luggage, and presumably owner, left accommodations, airport data revealing flight schedules and destinations, integration with travel apps showing complete itineraries. "This isn't just bag tracking," Michael said. "This is complete travel intelligence, when someone leaves home, where they go, how long they're gone, when they return. And look where this data goes." Dr. Rodriguez showed him the transmission logs. All 3 brands sent data to servers owned by Travel Intel Solutions, a company that marketed travel behavior analytics and security intelligence services. They accessed Travel Intel's client database. What they found was alarming. Over 400 clients purchasing travel location data, private investigation firms buying real-time traveler tracking, insurance companies purchasing travel frequency data, marketing companies buying destination preference analysis, anonymous buyers on encrypted networks purchasing absence intelligence, data showing when people were away from home. They're selling nobody's home alerts, Michael realized. This is a burglar's dream. The pricing structure was explicit. Basic travel history, $100 per person, real-time travel tracking, $500 per person per trip, home vacancy alerts, $1,000 per person, complete travel intelligence package, $3,000 per person. Someone could pay $3,000 and know exactly when a target is traveling, where they are, how long they'll be gone, and when their home is empty, Detective Chen said. Michael, Dr. Rodriguez, and Detective Chen investigated Travel Intel Solutions. The company had been founded by Marcus Brennan, who had previous convictions for operating an illegal surveillance business. His new venture was designed to monetize travel data while maintaining legal distance from how it was used. Internal documents obtained through a law enforcement subpoena revealed everything. Travel Intel knew the data was being used for burglary planning. They deliberately marketed to security professionals, which included criminal networks. They provided absence verification services, explicitly designed to confirm when homes were empty. They tracked which data purchases correlated with subsequent crimes but continued sales. One internal email stated, "Our product is travel intelligence. If clients use it for purposes we don't inquire about, that's their business. We're just data brokers." Michael traced the scope. Travel Intel had sold 6.3 million smart luggage units in the past 3 years. Millions of travelers were being tracked. He worked with Detective Chen to connect Travel Intel data purchases to the 42 burglaries. All victims' travel data had been purchased 1 to 2 weeks before burglaries. Purchases came from the same encrypted accounts. Burglaries occurred during the exact windows. Travel data showed homes were empty. Burglars had precise timing, entering shortly after departure, leaving before return. They're not just stealing from homes, Michael said. They're using travel surveillance to time perfect crimes. He found other criminal uses beyond burglary. Stalking victims tracked across multiple cities and countries, corporate espionage targeting traveling executives, kidnapping planning using travel pattern analysis, identity theft using hotel location and timing data, home invasion crews knowing when to strike. The luggage had created a marketplace where anyone's travel could be monitored and their absence exploited. Michael worked with victims to document how their luggage data had enabled crimes against them. David Morrison described his experience. "I went to London for a week-long business trip. While I was there, my house was burglarized. They took everything of value and had hours to do it. I later learned someone had purchased my travel data. They knew exactly when I left, where I was, and when I'd return. My luggage betrayed me." A stalking victim, Emily Chen, shared her terror. "I moved across the country to escape my ex. I thought I was safe. But he tracked me through my travel smart luggage. Every trip I took, every hotel I stayed at, every move I made, he knew. The luggage I used to feel secure traveling alone made me findable." Dr. Rodriguez prepared technical documentation showing the luggage's tracking capabilities, data transmission, and where it was sold. They released everything to major media with warnings about all Travel Intel connected luggage brands. The response was explosive. Smart luggage enabling burglaries, 6 million travelers tracked and sold to criminals. Your suitcase is telling burglars when you're away, how travel tech became crime intelligence. Travelers worldwide realized they'd been surveilled. "I thought I was protecting my luggage from being lost. Instead, I was broadcasting when my home was empty. My luggage tracked every trip. Someone used that data to rob my house while I was in Europe. I was stalked across 3 countries because my suitcase reported my location." Security experts condemned the practice as weaponizing travel for profit. The FBI launched a major investigation into Travel Intel's role in facilitating crimes. Class action lawsuits were filed representing 6.3 million users whose travel had been tracked and sold. Whistleblowers revealed internal communications showing travel intel executives knew about criminal use but considered it profitable market demand we can't control. Marcus Brennan, CEO of Travel Intel Solutions, and 6 other executives were arrested on charges including conspiracy to commit burglary, stalking facilitation, unauthorized surveillance, and fraud. The trial became a landmark case in travel security and data privacy. These defendants created a criminal intelligence service, the prosecutor stated. They tracked millions of travelers, mapped their movements, identified when their homes were vulnerable, and sold that information to criminals, stalkers, and predators. They enabled hundreds of crimes by providing perfect intelligence on when victims were defenseless. Expert witnesses testified. Michael Park explained how the travel data created comprehensive vulnerability profiles that could be weaponized. Dr. Rodriguez demonstrated the luggage's tracking capabilities and the scope of data collection. Detective Chen testified about cases where purchased travel data directly enabled burglaries and stalking. Law enforcement experts explained how the absence intelligence essentially provided criminals with target selection and timing data. Victims testified. David Morrison, they didn't just burglarize my house. They surveilled my life through my luggage, waited for me to be vulnerable, and struck when I was thousands of miles away. Travel intel made me a perfect target. Emily Chen, I was hunted across the country using data from my own suitcase. Every time I tried to escape, my luggage reported where I went. The thing meant to make travel secure made me trackable. Another victim, I feel violated knowing someone studied my travel patterns, learned my routines, knew when my family would be away, all purchased from a company that sold my movements for profit. The most emotional testimony came from a family whose elderly mother had returned home during what was supposed to be a week-long trip. Her plans changed unexpectedly, and she'd been traumatized by encountering burglars who thought the house would be empty. The defense argued travel intel was just providing travel data services and couldn't control client use. But internal documents proved executives knew about criminal applications and actively marketed to criminal networks. One sales pitch to an encrypted buyer stated, "Our travel intelligence is perfect for your operational needs. Real-time tracking, absence verification, complete movement profiles. Discreet service, no questions." The jury convicted on all counts. Brennan received 18 years in prison. Other executives received 10 to 15 years. Travel Intel was ordered to pay $8.7 billion in damages and permanently destroy all collected data. Luggage manufacturers were required to remove tracking technology and pay damages for enabling the surveillance. The scandal forced a re-evaluation of smart travel technology and data broker responsibilities. New regulations were enacted. Travel location data classified as security sensitive, with criminal penalties for unauthorized sale, prohibition on selling real-time location or absence data without explicit consent, and verified purchaser screening requirement that tracking devices allow users to disable transmission while maintaining basic functions. Criminal liability for data brokers when their data facilitates crimes. Right to deletion and verification of destruction for all travel location data. Michael continued his security consulting work, now specializing in protecting travelers from technology-enabled threats and advising on smart luggage risks. But the damage was widespread. Homes burglarized using perfect timing from travel data, stalking victims tracked across countries, violated sense of security knowing travel, created vulnerability, lasting anxiety about using any travel technology. David Morrison described the impact, "I'm afraid to travel now. Every trip feels like I'm announcing 'rob me now.' The security system at home doesn't matter if criminals know exactly when I'm gone. Travel intel stole my freedom to travel safely." Many victims developed hypervigilance about travel, some stopped using checked luggage entirely, others installed extensive home security but still felt vulnerable knowing their absence could be tracked and sold. 2 years after the scandal, Michael Park spoke at a travel security conference about the lessons learned. What Travel Intel did, he explained, was monetize the vulnerability of travel. When we leave home, we're exposed, our property is unguarded, we're far from support systems, our routines are disrupted. That's inherent to travel. But travel intel weaponized it by tracking and selling our absence. He continued, the smart luggage wasn't protecting us, it was broadcasting our vulnerability. Every trip became a signal to potential criminals: this person is away, this home is empty, this is your opportunity. The case highlighted dangerous aspects of connected devices. Devices designed for user benefit being repurposed for surveillance, location data being treated as a commodity without security implications. Considered the ease of creating criminal marketplaces from legitimate data services, the claiming of neutrality while actively facilitating harm. Every device that tracks us for our convenience, Michael told the audience, also tracks us for anyone willing to pay for that information. Your smart luggage, your fitness tracker, your connected car, each creating maps of your movements and absences that could be exploited if sold without safeguards. The survivors faced ongoing challenges. Homes that had been violated, travel anxiety that limited professional and personal opportunities. Lasting violation knowing their movements had been commodified, the impossibility of traveling without leaving some digital trail. I'll never feel completely safe traveling again, one victim said. Knowing that my luggage was reporting my location, selling my absence, making me a target, that changes how you see every trip. The trust is gone. The warning remains urgent: as more devices track location and behavior, the potential for that tracking to enable crime increases. Every convenience that monitors us creates data that could be weaponized if profit matters more than security. The lesson of the luggage that tracked travelers, Michael concluded, is that security features can become security vulnerabilities if the data they generate is sold without accountability. Your travel should be private. Make sure your devices aren't broadcasting your absence to criminals. This story is completely fictional. Travel intel solutions and the described surveillance luggage do not exist. Current smart luggage brands have varying data practices. However, the underlying concerns are real. Connected devices do track location, travel data can reveal vulnerability patterns, and the potential for location data to enable crime is a genuine concern in cybersecurity and personal security. This story is meant to encourage critical thinking about what data our travel devices collect and the importance of understanding how location tracking could be misused. Your travels should be yours, make sure they stay private. Thank you for watching.